What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it is time to talk about Seven Deadly Sins, Chapter 189. Before I get into the review, I just want to quickly mention that I also have a Mob Psycho 100 Episode 8 review out, so if that interests you, go ahead and check that out as well. This was an extremely simple chapter, the Seven Deadly Sins. It's basically just Meliodas and Elizabeth reunite, he does his usual groping thing, she's cool with it this time, then she kind of backpedals, and then Zaratros is there, and it's funny. And then, what's-her-name shows up. I like the part where she's hitting all those demons to build up her combo. Then the hit she does on Mother Hawk was really badass. And she kicks regular Hawk away, which I'm wondering what's going to happen there, because that was kind of interesting that Hawk went sent flying like that, but I'll have to see what happens. But he gets sent flying, and Meliodas comes in there, just out of nowhere, slithering on in with that RKO. That was great. That was fucking hilarious. So he comes in there with that RKO on Randy Orton, just pulled a page out of that book, and basically proceeds to just school the shit out of her. She can't touch him. Well, she can get a few hits in, and then he just breaks the combo. And then the other dude tries to do a big attack when Meliodas isn't looking. He says, "Fuck you guys, I'm ready to kill you guys." And he just full counter. They get enveloped in a big attack. Is it over? I'm not going to hold my breath, because there's a lot of fucking chapters that end like this with the commandments, and they are always alive afterwards, so let's have to wait and see, but that's pretty much the chapter. It's an extremely basic chapter, but it's a good one. It's fun. There's not a lot in the way of story progression other than Meliodas and her reunite. I guess you could say her being sort of cool with the groping for a second sort of pushes their relationship, as weird as that sounds, forward, but not really. There's really not a lot of story progression here, except that he did land a big blow on them, so the fight progressed slightly, and there was just overall, it was really just an entertainment value chapter. There's not a lot to talk about, objectively speaking, from a reviewing standpoint. That's why reviewing chapters isn't always the best thing, because there's sometimes not a lot to talk about, but this chapter was still fun. And it was definitely, the RKO just had me, I was done right there, because the Randy Orton meme is just great, but it's old, but it's a classic, at least for me. But, no, it was a fun chapter. Trying to think if there's anything else. The art was very consistent in this one, the pace of the chapter was good. Yeah, there's really not much else to say, though. I'm curious not why Hawk got sent flying, I'm curious where Hawk's going to land and how that's going to play out and what's going on there, because I feel like Hawk getting kicked away like that has to mean something. Like, there has to be something Hawk's going to do now that he's that far away. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe he'll just come stumbling in later and the demon power will have worn off or whatever, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, fun chapter. If he did take them out, I feel like that might be a little too fast. It might be a little rushed to take these two out, because we haven't seen much of them yet. Like, I could see taking out, like, Dolor and, like, Gloxini, or whatever the old Fairy King's name was. I could see taking them out, because they were there for, like, that whole, like, little tournament arc thing. So I could see them getting taken out by Meliodas in a moment like this, but these two we haven't seen much of, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like, this is the first time they've ever had, like, significant screen time, so if they're already out, that's kind of sucky, but whatever. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it was a fun chapter. Not really much else to say. I don't want to repeat myself too much, so with all that being said, I'd probably give it, like, 7.5 out of 10. It's a good chapter of the Seven Deadly Sins. It has its moments, like the big punch against Mama Hawk and the RKO and fucking just Meliodas in general was very cool in this chapter, but no, it's like a 7.5. It's just a good chapter of the Seven Deadly Sins. But what did you guys think of this chapter of the Seven Deadly Sins? Is there anything I missed? You can tell me in the comments section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm Petplatypus on both. You can also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.